Stand yourself up, and we're going to do spinal rotations first. So we're just going to rotate the spine, feet about shoulder width apart, and just start to move the spine as a unit. So can you look over the shoulder? Can you send your head and neck around? Look over that back shoulder, but try and keep the pelvis as still as you can. Now, if the pelvis moves, that's fine, providing you don't take any distress, you don't feel it at all in your knees. So now focus on your belly button. Are you actually rotating your belly button around? So we're just trying to rotate the spine. Rotate the belly button, rotate your head. Can you rotate a bit more? Super. Now bring yourself up to standing, ready for side bends. So the feet are about hip socket distance apart. Keep them evenly weighted, keep the pelvis still, and you're just going to drop the shoulder directly down. And can you just see how far you can get with your fingers? Come back up. Go down to the other side. Now keep on doing that, but just pause down there to try and get your hands. Can you get your hands lower down, lower down, lower down? Bring yourself back up. Go over to the other side. Can you get your hands lower down, lower down? Come back up. Carry on doing that. And now just note that you don't want to move it. Not yet. We're going to go on to that. For now, don't move your pelvis. Keep your pelvis still. Can you lower the hammer? Just make sure your top shoulder isn't rolling forward. You're going directly to the side. You okay with that? Yeah. Okay. Now what you're going to do is do the same, but then push the opposite pelvis out. Just note how far down your leg you can get now. You should be able to get a bit further down. But make sure now, more so than the other one, that the shoulder isn't rolling forward. Keep the shoulders in alignment. You're going directly to the side. You're taking both shoulders over to one side. Don't let it roll forward. So push the opposite pelvis out. So you're freeing up and creating more mobility in the spines, in the pelvis and the hips. Super. All you're going to add in now is a head turn. So there's three things to focus on. You side bend, push the pelvis out and look up to the ceiling. Come back up. You side bend, push the pelvis out as you look up to the ceiling. So three things. You're still doing a side bend. What most people do, they overly focus on looking up to the ceiling and they forget they're supposed to be sinking the hand as far down your leg as you can. So still focus on trying to get the hand as low down the thigh, the leg as you can, as you push the pelvis out, as you look to the wall behind you. So this routine is a scoliosis routine. It works on the pelvis, the hips, so it works on quite a number of issues. And bring yourself up. So we're going to do roll downs now, and it's a don't overthink it roll down. In other words, have a slight bend in your knees, chin to chest, and just try and keep the head close to you. Just roll down. Can you touch the floor? Can you get as low as you can? And then bring yourself back up straight away. And let's just go for two more. All we're trying to do is mobilize the spine. Now think of your spine as a bike chain. You want all the links of a bike chain to move the same. So make sure there's mobility. Focus and visualize what a spine looks like. Okay, now hold it up there. Don't do any more. Lift it up. Now we're going to do partial ones. And you're doing half roll down. So not the chin to your chest. Roll down half. So your hands are roughly, let's say half roll down. Your hands are roughly level, parallel, in line with your knees. And then wheel back up again. And now just do more of them. Just no lower. Tempting to go lower, don't go any lower, and then right back up again. And now as you're doing that, the quicker the better, because can you notice just how much you push your bum back and your pelvis back? Now try not to. Try and do it slowly now. Now try and keep the pelvis and bum and hips where they are. And just roll. Let your arms hang there. Yeah, they're in line with your knees. Your hands aren't touching your knees. Let them hang. And then come back up. And again, don't push your bum out. Keep the bum where it is. Keep your hips where it rolls down halfway. Now just hold it down there on your next one. Just hold it down there. I'm just going to check in on people. Okay, now just hold it there. Now, where's the weight on your feet? Hold it down there. Don't move. Let your arms dangle. The weight, take your pelvis forward. Your hips forward so the weight is on your toes, on the front part of your foot. Just let your head hang there. Let your arms hang there. So it should feel like if you pushed your pelvis and hips forward anymore, you'd probably topple over. Make sure you're relaxing your arms. There's some people holding the knees. Relax your arms, just let them hang. Is the weight over the toes? Does it feel like you're going to fall forward? It should do. And now restack the spine, come up. Brilliant. Just go to rotations again, just to loosen off that lower back. So focus on centering your belly button around. Feels nice, this one. I like this one. And then we're going to go into spinal extension. So, stand tall, pull the stomach in, pull it in, try and make yourself look slim. Go on, Nettie. Heart lifted, long neck, chin up. Put the hands, now you can either use, I like the heels and the hands, everyone's anatomy is different. You might want to put your fists, your thumbs, actually like the thumbs above the pelvis. So the heels of the hand are on your lower back. Not actually on the spine, just either side of the spine, if you can. And then all you're going to do is push with your heels of your hands, with control, send your pelvis forward and your heart up to the ceiling. And then bring yourself back again. Push the hands in, pelvis forward, heart up to the ceiling, bring yourself back in. And just keep on doing that. Pelvis goes forward, you're pushing it forward with your hands, heart up to the ceiling. Actually, you're pushing the lower back, not the spine, the muscles either side of it. Push that forward with your hands, spine and extension. Super. And then just do 3 roll downs. Don't overthink it, just roll down, roll back up again. Unless you're going dizzy, just do 1 or 2. Depends on how fast you go usually, some people. Brilliant. We'll try this one. And don't worry if you don't get it, it's a bit more advanced. Well, it's different. Just go to rotations again, but I want you to feel what it feels like on your spine. Try and be body aware. The hardest thing to try and teach people, to try and get people to do, is as you're doing any movement in Pilates, don't just do it without any thought. What does that feel like on your entire spine? On your lower back, on your ribs, at your back, on your kidney area? What's it feel like? Okay, now relax to the front. Now you're going to hug a tree. So I'm just going to bend down so you can see what shape. Just imagine you're hugging a big tree, but your hands want to be shoulder height. Relax the shoulders down. Now you're going to do the same rotation. Your arms stay. So my fingertips are in line with my sternum and chest bone. They stay there as I rotate round to the left, as I rotate round to the right. So the hands, the tips of your fingers follow your sternum. They're in line with your sternum, but you keep that basic shape. Keep the hands high though. I say shoulder width, go for neck height with your hands. Hands and arms at elbows and neck height as you rotate. And does it feel different in your spine? The answer might be no. Depends on where you're tight. Super. Now, hold it there to the front. The right arm, just doesn't care where it just comes down by the side. So your left arm is out there. This is what you're going to do. You're going to make 3 attempts to rotate to the right. So this is what you're going to do. Rotate, that's my first effort. Come back. I'm going to try and get a little bit more. I'm going to try and get a little bit more. Now you're trying to keep the pelvis as still as you can, but if it moves, it moves. And then swap over arms. And then again to the left now. 1, kind of rotate around a bit more. 2, kind of rotate around a bit more. 3, and just do 1 more set. Now, as you do them, the arm shape wants to stay the same. In other words, you don't want to straighten the arm out. Keep it as if you're hugging that tree. You've got a tree there. The tree's not going to move, change shape. 3 more to the right, 3 more to the left. Super. Your head done? Okay. Right. Raise the right side bends again. I'm going to do them slightly differently. Just wait for someone to finish. That's fine. Don't rush it. Side bends, got right arm in the air. Side bend to the left and push the right pelvis out. And then bring yourself back up. Swap arms. Left arm in the air. Side bend to the right, push the left pelvis out. And just keep on alternating doing that. It should feel different from the ones we did before. You get more of a pull, more of a stretch. But does it feel more different one side than the other? Does one side feel like it's pulling you more? All you're going to add into this is the head turn. I'll rein it right in. If you know what you're doing, crack on. Right arm in the air. Side bend to the left, push the right pelvis out. As you do so, look up to the wall, to the ceiling, the wall behind you, come back up, swap arms over. So you still get the side bend, push the pelvis, and look up to the ceiling as you do it. This works the entire spine. Very good actually for the dowagers hump, the old buffalo hump, kyphosis, the round shoulder. Super, bring yourself up over the arms then. Slight variation now. Lift the right arm up, palm facing the front, so that your arm, as best you can, not available to everyone, so the arm is by your side of the ear, and your arm as straight as you can. Right, palms facing up. Turn your head and neck and look over to the right, look to the wall behind you, and then just let the head tilt back. Bring it back up, turn your head to the front, lower the arm down. We're going to do one each side. Left arm in the air, the palm faces the front, arm as straight as you can, the arm by the ear. Turn your head and look over the left shoulder as much as you can, pause. Then tilt, keep rotating and tilt the head back. Oh, that's much different on that side. Bring the head up, lower the arm down. Okay? Keep your arms a bit of a shrug. Shoulders to shoulder, whatever you want. Good. Okay. This next one is fantastic for lower back in particular, and the hip and pelvis area, sacroiliac. And you want a block for this one. If you haven't got a block, ideally you want something sturdy to stand on, because what you're going to do, so put your left foot on a block or on a book, providing it's raised up. Now both, the leg that's on the block wants to be straight, wants to be locked out. If you think balance is going to be an issue, do it by a wall or something sturdy. This is what you're going to do. So the left foot's on the block, the leg has got to be straight. Hitch the hip up, the right hip, the right leg, send it directly up to the ceiling, hitch it up. Hold it there for a count of 5, and then drop the foot down. But you're trying to lower it, you lower the heel, not the toes, that's easy. Can you get the heel to touch the ground? Now the higher the block, the more challenging it is. And you're going to hold it down for 5. And we're going to do this for half a minute, so away you go. So you're hitching it up, hold it up for 5. It's going directly up. Don't send it out, directly up, hold it for 5, and then send the heel down. Can you get the heel either touch the floor or as low down to the floor as you can? The higher the block, the better, because you're getting a fuller range of motion, and you're stretching off tissues more and working them more. So when you're hitching it up, you're working the strength. When you're dropping that heel down, you're working flexibility. You're also working a little bit of mobility. That's enough. Just swap over legs now. See if you notice. Now you'll notice a difference immediately, but near the end you notice a difference. So again, so now the right foot's on it. The right leg has got to be locked out. Got to be straight. Hitch the hip up as high up as you can of the left leg and hold it for a count of 5. Slowly lower the heel down, down, down. Now you're trying to keep also the support and pelvis as still as you can. Don't make sure you're not pushing it out, especially when you lower that leg down, because it's harder. So keep the support and leg, doesn't really want to move, it's the opposite side of your body now. Okay, hitch it up for 5, drop the heel down for 5 without the pelvis popping out. Keep the support and leg still. And lower down. Put it back so the block's on. We're doing it slightly. Now we're working for mobility. So how you do it differs. So all you're going to do is go back to the first one. So the block's on the. You're doing exactly the same, but you're doing it dynamically. In other words, this is what you're doing. Hitch it up, lower it down. Hitch it up, lower. Quick, but with control. Away you go. The support leg has got to be straight. Hitch it up as high as you can. Drop it down. Hitch it up, drop it down. Hitch it up, drop it down. Now you can do these not on a block, but it's far better on a high. You can do them on stairs. Is one of the best places to do it, over the edge of the stairs. And let's watch how long we do. And swap over sides. Do for about half a minute. And so this is working more mobility now. Targeting more mobility. Now I've noticed this side for me is massively challenging. If you've noticed quite a bit of difference in your own time, at some stage, it's a good one to do. I have back. I just noticed big difference. If you think of it logically, you shouldn't be, all things being equal. And come out of that, super. Do whatever your body wants you to do. If you want to do rotations, flomping, roll downs,